Hey everyone, so today we're not gonna have a gameplay video. I know, boo. It sucks, but I'm on vacation and I haven't had a lot of time to play the game right now. We will be resuming House of Flask gameplay either Sunday or Monday. Um, yeah, your boy is trying to have some fun, okay? So we will get back to it on let's just say Monday, just in case I don't really get to it on Sunday, because Sunday I actually fly back home. So for today, we're gonna do one of those update videos for InZOI. So Kjun, who I think is the product manager, if that is wrong, please let me know. But I believe he's the product manager. Like he's the one in charge of like the game development and where like they're staring it, etc. Right? So he typically posts twice a week. Once on Fridays, which he usually has like a video that's attached to that Friday post. And then on Wednesdays, he follows up in that Friday post with additional information, whether that be like answers to feedback or what have you. So it's just a really another way to keep the community engaged and make sure that the game is going in the right direction. Okay, with that said, let's get straight into his post. So he says, "Hi everyone. Life has been incredibly busy lately. To be honest, I almost forgot to post today. My apologies. Today, I'd like to share a dev update on how we're reworking the emotion system for Zoe. Have you ever looked at a Zoe and wondered, wait, why are they feeling that right now? As we added more content over time, emotions were often patched in piece by piece. While each piece made sense on its own, the overall logic became inconsistent. So this time, instead of adding new emotions, we went back to square one and reviewed everything from the ground up." That's good to hear. I've definitely had that feeling where I'm like, hey, like, why is my Zori feeling like this right now? And usually the answer's right there, but like you have to do a little bit of digging to find out like why they're feeling a certain way, and that's not that great of a user experience. So I'm glad that they're working on this. So let's just get straight into the items that they're addressing in this post. The first one is aligning the emotion gears. In the post, they go on to say, "We gathered and fixed cases where the situation and the emotion did not match up." They gave some examples of this. So they said, parents gaining confidence when a toddler threw a tantrum or feeling serene after receiving a terrible gift were updated to annoyed and baffled respectively. Okay, that's good. So like whenever a toddler throws a tantrum now going forward, parents will feel the annoyed emotion, and if someone receives a terrible gift, they will have the baffled emotion as well. I think this is pretty on par with what would happen in real life, so I like those changes. The second bullet here says, "We fixed visual errors, like a Zoe looking gloomy while holding a cheerful buff description." I didn't even realize this was a thing that was happening, to be honest. So I'm glad that this is being fixed. Um, the third bullet here says, okay, so purely RNG based emotion triggers without conditions were removed. Unprovoked mood swings were more frustrating than fun. So RNG here stands for random number generator. So basically what was happening here is Azoi would experience a random emotion even though they didn't have anything that triggered it. So it's kind of like an unprovoked mood swing. Um, and you're probably looking to see like, okay, what, why is my Zoe feeling this way? But it was probably just like randomly generated for whatever reason. I guess they felt like, that was something that happens in real life. People do have mood swings and stuff. But even in real life, there's usually some type of underlying situation as to like why someone is acting the way that they act. I'm glad that this is being removed in favor of emotions that are triggered by something else. So that's cool. Jumping into the second group of updates for emotions, this one is all about setting clear rules for negative emotions. They go on to say, our longest discussion was deciding where to draw the line on negative emotions. If a newly settled Zoi buys budget furniture within their means, getting hit with constant negative emotions just for being cheap felt exhausting rather than fun. That is a good point. I'm a bougie person, so I like nice things, but even if I had to buy something that was cheaper in the interim, I don't think I would experience like negative emotions just because I know something was cheap. You know what I mean? So I'm glad that they're trying to make a better distinction as to like what would trigger a negative emotion, especially when it comes to like purchasing um, products within the like build or buy mode. So they go on to uh, mention two bullets here. So distinguishing cheap from bad. Simply buying inexpensive items no longer triggers negative emotions. However, low performance items like old beds or sofas that ruin sleep will still cause bad moods. That makes sense. I'm glad that they're doing that. I had no idea that this was even happening in the game. Um, that just goes to show how much I'm paying attention, I guess. But yeah, I really didn't know. School uniform rework. We removed heat slash cold reactions tied to wearing school uniforms. I did not know that that was a thing. Since uniforms aren't something Zois choose to wear, they shouldn't be penalized for wearing them. Okay, that makes sense. I mean, I wore school uniform, and when I did, honestly, it was pretty easy. I didn't really have to think about what to wear for school, and I was out the door faster than when I actually had to pick up my outfit and all of that stuff. So I'm glad that they're updating that as well. All right, so for number three, we're moving on to the bullet points under making emotion triggers transparent. So even if the numbers make sense, players still feel caught off guard if they can't see the reason behind a mood shift. This is me all day, yelling at my screen, trying to figure out like why are they feeling this way, and to no avail, to no answer, and I was just confused. Um, I got much better at like discerning why they were mad at something by checking like memories and checking like the little emoticons or whatever that shows their mood and whatnot. But I feel like I still had to jump from one place to another or like check too many tabs. Like there were too many clicks to get to see the full picture of like why uh Azoi was triggered by something else. All right, so they have three bullets here. The first one says reorder tooltips. The most recently acquired emotion now appears at the top, showing you the exact cause of your Zoi's current mood at a glance. This is amazing. I love that that they're doing this, because honestly, that's how it should be. The most recent notification that you got should be on top. All right, displaying names and social buffs. Emotions gained through conversations now show the other person's name. When a mood is caused by a person, who it was is the most vital context. Yes, 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 yes. Again, a lot of the time I have to piece together the information by like going into like their memories and then seeing that they had a bad interaction with XYZ person. Now this is going to streamline things a lot more to make it obvious as to like why they're upset and who they're upset with, which I love. Okay, so quality of life upgrades. Added timestamps for gained emotions along with refreshed representative colors and icons. Yeah, I know they spoke about like the refreshed icons and stuff that are coming to the game. They are 100% more clear, and it's definitely a welcome addition. So going on to the fourth bucket here, which is true emotions must be seen. They go on to say, we expanded expressions and animations so emotions aren't just hidden behind numbers and tooltips, which is amazing. I think this is one of the biggest complaints that a lot of people have when they're looking at actual Zoids and stuff like that. I feel like I don't really they're not like as expressive, I guess, but like I didn't really have an issue with it, but I can understand why someone would have an issue for it with it, especially if they're coming from like other simulation games that have that expressive um face. That makes sense. So the two bullets that are underneath the true emotions must be seen category are new animations and actions. So dedicated reaction animations now play for inspiration, excitement, triumph, laughter, joy, and emotion. That's cool. Resting animations are more varied and a new boredom action was added. That's cool. I didn't even know didn't have boredom. I thought we always had boredom. All right. And then lastly, autonomous behavior and thought bubbles. Autonomous choices now reflect a Zoi's emotions and traits, with an with an icon explaining their reasoning. Overhead thought bubbles were fully revamped with intuitive icons matching the context and relationship. That's great. All of these upgrades, or I shouldn't say upgrades, all of these updates are definitely welcomed. I feel like out of all of these, I think three, making emotion triggers transparent, is my priority out of this list. And then I would say maybe four is next. The true emotions must be seen. Well, number one is like an update where they're fixing errors. So that's not really like, a thing that they're like updating and adding to the game. They're just fixing something that was previously broken. And then for the negative emotions, that is also pretty important. But I feel like with the gameplay right now, I really haven't experienced much of that, to be honest. So order of priority, I guess one because it's fixing errors, but if we put that one aside, out of the other three, um, I like making emotion triggers transparent, true emotions must be seen, and then setting clear rules for negative emotions. So, so that's it for Kjon's Wednesday update. I will see you guys in another video soon. Hopefully Monday I get back up and running with gameplay videos. But in the meantime, you're probably gonna see a couple of other videos, speed builds, or maybe just like create a Zoe videos, just so I can like have something out there on the channel, so the algorithm can love me. So, all right, if you haven't already, please like and subscribe. I'm really trying to make it to 1,000 subscribers and 4,000 watch hours before the changes go into effect for next year, where you need 8,000 watch hours. So please, if you did watch this video through till the end, please like it and subscribe, and tell all of your friends to subscribe to my channel too. Like, why not? Sharing is caring. All right, y'all. Until the next one, I'll see you. Bye.